Certified nutrition coach. I help moms locally in Las Vegas, Nevada, and all over the world shed the weight holding them back from becoming their most energetic and authentic version of themselves so they can go after their deepest desires alongside of motherhood. You can find me at fitandconfidentmoms.com. Hey everybody, we have a special edition of Fit and Confident Tuesday Talk today because we are celebrating the 1-year anniversary of Fit and Confident Academy. If you are here watching live, I would love for you to type #live in the comments. If you're watching the replay, then #replay. This helps me out because I know who's watching and it lets other people know, hey, there's a cool video that you should be watching and I'm watching it too. So 1-year anniversary of Fit and Confident Academy. What does that mean? So if you guys are new to me, my name is Coach Rose Peterson. I'm a certified personal trainer, certified nutrition coach, and weight loss expert for women over 35. Ooh, we got some people in the chat saying hi. Let me know where you're watching from. Okay. I've been coaching women since the end of 2017, but I launched a very special program based on my work with women, my work with clients on what do people really want and what do they really need? And it's not just here's how to eat and here's some exercise. There's more to it. And through helping my clients build the healthy lifestyle that they desired, they didn't want to feel like they were living on a diet. They didn't want to feel like diet and exercise was their only thing. They wanted to learn how to make things a lifestyle. So through my time with working with clients, I created Fit and Confident Academy so that my clients had the support they needed to help build this lifestyle that they truly wanted, as well as reach their weight loss goals. So I've invited some newer clients and some clients that have been with me a long time to tell you a little bit more about it. Oh, we lost Celine. I'm going to put her back in. Here we go. So they can share with you about their experience, because I can tell you, that it's the most awesome program in the world for women looking to lose weight or get into shape. But I thought it'd better come from them so that you can find out why is it they're in the program. And each and every one of the women here have either been with me a very long time or they started with the Fit and Confident Academy and they've renewed and they raised their hand and said, this is so awesome. I want to keep going. So as I introduce each and every one of you guys, I'm going to mention how long you've been working with me and also kind of mention that there are 3 levels of my program. Maybe I've never even vocalized this to you guys, but maybe I have. So there's 3 levels to Fit and Confident Academy. The first one is the Academy, which is the first 12 to 16 weeks that a client works with me. And then the second, if they say, I'm raising my hand and I want to stay, and they become our alumni. So we've got everyone in here is an alumni. And then lastly, the next phase is legacy. And these are clients that said, I want to be here as long as I can or want to be a part of it. And we're going to be a part of the legacy program. Celine is a part of my legacy program. So she pops in whenever she needs support. All right. So Fit and Confident Academy. I would love to know why each of you guys joined. We'll put it, I'll call on each person. So why did you join? What did you think it was going to be? And what was it actually? So first I'm going to call on Calissa. Calissa reached out to me for some help with her goals in April of 2022. Let everybody know who you are and why you decided to join Fit and Confident Academy.
Well, as she said, my name is Calissa and I live in Missouri and Rose is in Las Vegas. But the reason I contacted Rose was because I'm in my 50s and I had retired from teaching public school for 31 years. And I realized that I was gaining weight and quickly getting out of shape. And I didn't want that to become a burden as I got older. And I was concerned about my health and making sure I was making the best health choices for myself. And part of that involved eating better, being more mindful of my nutrition, and exercising. So that's why I started working with Rose.
Thank you so much for that introduction. So I want to share with you guys that Calissa was a self-proclaimed exercise hater. And when she reached out to me, she was like, I know this is going to be hard because I don't like to exercise and I've never had to change my diet ever in my life. So tell me, what were you struggling with at the time and how we helped you overcome that struggle?
Well, as far as nutrition goes, I was struggling with things like high blood pressure and high cholesterol, which happens to many people as they get a little older. But I also have the genetic thing with the cholesterol. So after speaking with my doctor, he said you have to exercise and you have to be more mindful of the food that you're eating if you want to see improvement in that. So that was a big concern for me. And I did have a fear and a concern about working out because I had this thing in my head that I was going to have to dedicate every minute of my day to working out. And then I was going to be hungry because I was going to be starving to death because I thought Rose was going to put me on some awful diet. And that just hasn't turned out to be the case at all. It's been much more simple and doable than I thought. I've seen,
Awesome.
I've seen results.
Yes, you have seen results. So share a little bit about the benefits, your personal benefits that you've received from being in the program.
Well, I'm off of one of my medications because I am much more mindful of my nutrition. I was able to come off of the blood pressure medication. The exercise helps with that also. And I was able to reduce my statin meds for my cholesterol because of exercise. You have to exercise to keep your good cholesterol up. So without the strength training that Rose helps me with, I wouldn't be able to do it at all. So that's been one of the best parts. And then shedding 20 plus pounds has been awesome, and I've been able to keep it off. So that's the important part for me.
I'm so glad that you mentioned that. That is the most important part because you lost a significant amount of weight in the beginning of coaching and you've been able to maintain it and keep it off, which is so hard for most people. Most of the clients I work with, they've done different things. They've lost weight, but they've regained it. And so I think that's a huge win to say that over the year and a half that you've been able to maintain that weight loss as well. And then talk to me a little bit about the exercise. So was it as time consuming as you thought it was going to be?
Absolutely not. The exercises that that Rose has been able to give me, I choose to do my exercising at home. It fits my lifestyle better for me. So Rose is able to send me an exercise program through an app. It's very doable with the equipment that I have at home. It does not take a lot of my time. It only takes a couple of days a week. I exercise 3 days a week and I feel great. It's doable and I no longer hate exercise.
Yay! Awesome. Yes, you have changed from like thinking that you were going to hate it to looking forward to it. And you shared with me that if you don't get that workout in first thing in the morning, it kind of feels like your day is off or you ruined your day. Thank you so much for sharing. And then I would love for you, before I introduce Sonia, what is your favorite part about Fit and Confident Academy? Anything surprise you about going through this process?
Well, I love the accountability. The ladies that are in the group help each other be accountable for sticking to their goals, and I need that. I need someone to hold my feet to the fire every once in a while. So that's great. But I've learned so much. I've learned about perimenopause and menopause and nutrition and exercise and just overall well-being. So it's been very educational. I've appreciated that aspect especially.
Cool. Thank you so much for sharing, Calissa. Sonia. So Sonia and I first met in 2019 when I worked for a large athletic club and we trained together. And recently I reached out to her to just check on her and see how she's doing and told her about Fit and Confident Academy. And she's like, you know what? That sounds different than what I've done before. So why not? I'll try it out. So Sonia, introduce yourself and let us know who you are and why you decided to join this program.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sonia. I live in Las Vegas, and I really enjoyed working with Rose from the beginning. I have done all kinds of different diets over the years. And I would say they were successful in the fact that I did lose weight, but then they were unsuccessful in the way that I would gain it back. So I was really nice talking with Rose about this and learning about how it wasn't just, okay, lose the weight and see ya. For me, it was more about making sure that I could maintain it, because I've proven I can take it off, but I've also proven it doesn't stay off. So I really appreciated how Rose um, handles that aspect of it. I'm not there yet, but even just during a week of vacation or a week of family struggle, she's got some great ways and opportunities to still kind of maintain and stay on the program, but not maybe be so strict on some of the other things. So I've really appreciated that. I have a lot more hope now that I can get to where I want to be weight wise. And she's also great with, I do a lot of Pilates. I'm very good at that. I've been good different times in my life and working out, but just adding things in that maybe I've left behind over time. Again, the same way, just here, try it this way or try it that way. And it's not something where you have to go every day. Like I can do every day for maybe a month or 2 months or whatever, but it doesn't become a habit for me. But if I add it, I've learned if I add it in slowly, then it becomes a habit. And then I look forward to it and it just becomes a part of who I am rather than, oh, now I've got to go walk or now I've got to go to the gym or something like that.
Ooh, I like that, how you said it becomes a part of who you are. And I think you pointed out some really important things as to it doesn't have to be every day and we can do things step by step. And step by step is better because that's the way that you're going to adopt a lifestyle that is in line with you. Talk to me about, so one of the things that Sonia was hesitant about when she first joined is this program we're just going to sit around and talk about food and recipes all day? Because I know there were some other groups that you were involved in where, sometimes we sprinkle in food ideas, but I totally get what you're saying. Like there are some programs out there that all people are talking about is what they're eating and sharing all these like low calorie, type of things that, oh, this is good for your diet. This is good for your diet. But from the very beginning, first I said, trust me, it's not like that. We barely talk about food. I'm like, we barely talk about food. But that just sounds miserable, right? So you're getting together with people and we're all talking about like substitutes for food, where I'm like, no, you can still have the food you love. And I'm going to show you how to make that work. So share with me a little bit about like, what were your hesitations? I did kind of spoil it a little bit, but if there was more, and then once you were in the program, how did that kind of help you overcome that hesitation?
Well, yeah, for one thing, you're in those situations, you're going in there and you're already hungry because you're weighing in and all that. And then you end up talking about food. It's such an uncomfortable place to be. And I didn't realize it for a long time. But what I like is that Rose is really good at offering not even alternatives, but just, yes, if that's what you want, if you want that scoop of ice cream, here's how you can manage it in. I've heard from other ladies in the group that they want one scoop of ice cream a day. That's just part of their lifestyle. And so that was a really nice thing to hear. It made a lot of difference. I was on one program that literally had a list of foods that I could eat, and it was half a page, and it didn't include like pork or like lean pork or beans or certain vegetables or certain fruits for that matter. And so I just didn't want to go back to something like that. It was highly successful until I stopped. So, and the other thing is, and that kind of reminds me too, something else that I really appreciated is that particular one, they argued with me. I was at a weight that I felt very comfortable. Forget the BMI. I felt comfortable. And they argued with me that I still wasn't within that BMI range and that I should continue. And it required another double what I had lost, maybe. I don't remember, but it was a lot. It felt a lot. And so I talked to Rose about that as well. And it's like, no, when you feel comfortable, that's where we stop. We can, and you can maintain for a certain amount of time. And then later on, if you want to continue on, then you can continue on. So it fits in, the flexibility of that fits in with your lifestyle or with my lifestyle or with anybody's, and how what makes you feel comfortable, what makes you feel happy. Both, exercise, well, not both, 3 times, exercise, your food, and then your lifestyle.
Yeah.
So that meant a lot to me.
Thank you so much for sharing. I think there's a couple points in there that you mentioned that I really want to have a back and forth on. So I've been on those programs where they give you a list of 25 foods you're allowed to eat. And, sometimes at first you're motivated. You're like, you know what? I can do this. 25 foods. But after a while, it's daunting. You don't want to keep eating that way. It feels like when you live your life and you're invited out to dinner, you're worried, what am I going to eat when I'm here? Do I have to bring my own food? And it gets tiring. And then let's say you saw success with that, right? And then maybe you regained it. And when you want to start up again, you think, God, I can't eat like that again. And so it makes people not want to start again because they believe that weight loss equals suffering. And I wanted to show you that, no, it doesn't have to be. Weight loss doesn't have to be suffering, and that it should be done in phases, like you mentioned. There's this misconception out there that in order to be healthy, you have to suffer. You have to suffer and eat less, and it's going to suck, and you don't have a life. But weight loss should be done in phases. So you set one goal and then maintain that. And however long you want to maintain is up to you. And if you want to do another wave, you do another wave. And then there's science to support that the longer that we are in weight loss mode, the more that it affects our metabolism. So over time, the metabolism can slow down. The good news is that we now know through science and research that your metabolism can bounce back. So it doesn't stay that way. However, weight loss should be done in phases. We're not meant to be eating very little all the time, which is why most people struggle to stay consistent, because they feel like they're supposed to eat that way. So thank you so much, Sonia. Is there one thing you could share that kind of surprised you about the program?
Yeah, I think it's the group meeting was kind of an eye roll at first for me. No offense, anybody, but again, I was just worried that we were going to talk about food or something. But it has been a real pleasure to be on there and to really learn from the other ladies. And we really hit some interesting and eye-opening topics that are, I feel like everybody needs to know some of this stuff. So yeah, I've really enjoyed that aspect of it and highly recommend that. Don't let that go.
Yes. Yeah. And there is topics that we cover, which hopefully Brianna can touch on when I call her, that it's food and lifestyle and emotions and our physiology. We're all one person, right? So we can't just isolate and separate. This is my nutrition life. This is my fitness life. I try to coach people as a whole person that, food is feelings sometimes. And this is why sometimes we turn to food in these types of situations. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but here's how we're going to navigate it. Here's how we're going to learn more about ourselves and why we make the decisions that we do, because I feel like awareness is really, really powerful. So thank you so much, Sonia. Brianna, So happy you're here. So Brianna's been with me since 2020. She took a chance to train with me because it was during COVID time. So she had to be very brave to come see me in person, which was awesome because at the time, nobody really wanted to interact with others. But she talked with me. She saw, I think you were recommended by a friend, actually no client of mine, and you took a chance and you've been coaching with me ever since. And most recently, you've been added as Team Fit and Confident Academy to help our members as well for the mindset part. So tell us a little bit more about you, what you do, and why you end up coaching with me and sticking into the program.
Sure. So my name is Brianna. I'm in Las Vegas. I'm a licensed psychotherapist. And like you said, the reason I started coaching with you was because during the shutdown, my job was one that exploded. And I had a kid at home homeschooling as well. And so I had absolutely no time to myself. I mean, I was working 12 to 14 hours every day, and just my own sanity was starting to wane. And so a friend had recommended that I get back into working out, and I just kind of said, with what time? I don't have time to do that. I don't even have time to sleep right now. And to make a long story short, I don't do well with working out at home. And so like you said, it was during the shutdown. I was very uncomfortable seeing people in person, but I knew I had to do something. And so I started with you. And there were a lot of things, admittedly, that, were completely different. I was constantly in group fitness classes. I had done Pilates and yoga and Zumba and this dance class. I mean, I had done all the things, hot yoga, hot rooms of every kind. And I had never seen results. It was social hour for me. And you were weightlifting and strength training, which was something I never wanted to do. I had no desire to do that. But ultimately, I had to give in if I wanted to work out with you. And after we had talked about precautions, it all went well. And I have found it very interesting that the thing I had spent my life running away from was actually the thing I should have been running toward. And I have never stuck with any sort of fitness regimen as long as I have with strength training and your groups. And so I'm very, very grateful that friend
Oh, we lost Brianna. Maybe she'll be back. Oh, there you are. So we lost it, just the tail end of
oh, sorry. I just said I was very grateful that friend recommended you to me because on paper, you were not someone I would have ever tried.
Yeah. I appreciate you sharing that story because there is that misconception. A lot of women are afraid to lift weights, and they think that either lifting weights going to add bulk to them or it's not what they want to work out. Meaning some women go to work out because they feel, I hate to say this, but they want to punish their way thin, right? So I got to go to boot camp and get my butt kicked. I need someone to be a drill sergeant and tell me what to do. And a good workout is going to be one where I have to be picked up off the floor at the end.
Right.
And you discovered that there was another way. Yeah. Well, you discovered that there was another way. Same thing, Brianna. I just talked to somebody else this morning about the different boot camps I was in before and how they used to encourage going to 2 in a day, how I would feel like throwing up at the end. And I still kept going because I kept thinking that this is the way to get thin is I have to sweat, feel like I'm going to throw up, feel like I'm going to pass out, but just keep going. So I'm so grateful that you shared that the exercise was not what you thought it was going to be. Because, like I said, some women are afraid to lift weights. Calissa was nodding her head because now she strength trains and she messages me with her things that she's proud of. Speaking of things that you're proud of, hopefully you're okay with me mentioning this. When we first met, you said you hate shorts and you're never going to wear them. Mm-hmm. And then Last summer, you were helping somebody move. So it was hot. You were wearing shorts. And you sent me a photo of you moving a bicycle, and you could see your muscles coming out of your arms and legs. And tell me, how did you feel when your friend showed you that picture? Because you sent it to me right away, and I was so thrilled to see that too. But tell me a little bit more about that.
I mean, I don't think I'm unique than anyone else when it comes to, we always see ourselves completely different than how other people see us. And my friend needed help moving, and she was going through a tough time, and we didn't have anyone to help, and she called me, and I was sitting there helping her lift dressers and beds and bikes, and I honestly couldn't believe I could do it. And she, the whole time, was totally my hype girl. And she was just like, I can't believe how strong you are. I can't believe you're lifting this. And who needs men? And, she was, and I hadn't seen myself like that. It was what I thought was a little thing of going to help her move. It turned into this, like, yeah, I just lifted that by myself, and I totally lifted that table and put it together for you, and things I had just never done. So yeah, while I was lifting her bike, she ended up taking a picture, and she was really the one who was like, look at you, look how strong you look. And it was the first time I could see myself through someone else's eyes, of like, yeah, I'm so worried about what my thighs look like and what my arms look like. And she's sitting here just like in awe of like all this stuff I can do, that I would never see myself as. And so it was a really wonderful moment. I don't even think she realizes, like, I'll never forget that day of just, feeling so incredibly strong and realizing like my body's going to look how it looks. And yep, there's days it may not look how I want it to, but there's other days that people look at me and think, wow, you're so fit. And so I just completely have really tried to remind myself of that and get out of my head of thinking that my body has to look a certain way. It has to be about the weight, and it has to be about my muscles, and I can't wear this and I can't wear this, and really try to just throw caution to the wind and say, look, I'm just going to live. And there's days my body may not look great, and I'm going to wear the shorts anyway. And there's days I may not like my arms, and I'm going to wear the tank top anyways. And that's been a wonderful, wonderful transition for me with the group, to know that many other people feel like that, and to gain that kind of confidence.
I love you sharing about it's body confidence, which a lot of women really want, and it took you time. And I want to share this story. So when I broached to Brianna about doing nutrition coaching with me, being a licensed psychotherapist, you help a lot of people who have developed disordered eating habits because of doing all these different programs, or because they didn't feel worthy. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. We had tech issues where we got kicked off, but we are back. Sherry posted in the comments, yay, fit and confident ladies. So, okay, I'm going to make sure we're all back. So anyway, I was saying how you weren't really sure. Okay, hopefully this sticks. Thanks for hanging around even with my technical issues. So anyway, Brianna was very hesitant to sign up with nutrition coaching because she wasn't sure if this was going to be a restrictive program, because that's not what you wanted. So share with the audience what was different about Fit and Confident Academy, and really what made you say yes to being involved.
Yeah, so like you said, there's I have a really hard time with diets, right? And I've seen, whether it's myself, other women in the group, or people in my office, just trying to follow these restrictive food habits. And it's so unhealthy, and it can lead to really excessive mentalities of what it means to have to eat, and it can be an uncomfortable experience. And even in my own life, I've experienced that. I think we all have them. Like you were saying, Sonia, of, oh, I can't have ice cream, or I can't. And I'm just very, very against that. Don't tell me what I can and cannot eat. It's food, and I'm going to eat what I want when I want, and that's healthy for me. I cannot have a poor relationship with food because I need food to live, and I cannot deal with the guilt and the shame of doing something as basic as eating. And so that was really important to me. So yeah, nutrition, like Sonia said, I agree. I thought it was going to be like, okay, we have to do some restrictive diet, and I was very much against that. But when we talked and I realized, oh no, you're not telling me what I can't eat, it has nothing to do with that. It's more about, here are your goals and here's how to eat based on your goals. And that always changes. I'm going to eat differently when I maintain my weight versus how I'm going to eat if I'm losing weight, which is different than if I want to gain weight. And so I saw that, no, it wasn't a diet. It wasn't something I was going to have to restrict myself on. It was more, to be honest, like understanding food and understanding the nutrition of food. And now I have more awareness when I'm reading food labels and what food has protein and like I fully understand what food means. And so that has been amazing because it's helped me eat to where, if I want more protein, I go for this, and I don't have to get rid of other foods. It doesn't feel restrictive at all. It really just enhanced the way I see and enjoy food.
Good. Thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you again for coming. And one last thing before you go. So why did you decide to say yes when I asked you to be involved with Fit and Confident Academy?
So I think I'm trying to remember, but ultimately, I think the reason I said yes is because I also know myself well enough to know that I have to have accountability partners. I don't do well on my own. I'm not self-motivated, no matter how hard I try to fix that or to be. I'm just not. I succeed when I have a group and support from other people. And so I've really enjoyed the support I've gotten from you, and the group has turned out to be another area of accountability and support and new friendships, and people who are rooting for me just as much as I'm rooting for them. And so that's what's been really, really great. Ultimately, I said yes because I figured the more people to help, the better. So if things went really well with you, hopefully it also goes really well with multiple people. And so far that's been the case.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Cassie. So we're going to do Cassie, and then we'll do Celine. So Cassie joined Fit and Confident Academy earlier this year, and you also had some hesitations about signing up for the program. So I'd love for you to share like what you were nervous about and how it helped you overcome that. But I also want people to know what you do, because I actually have a handful of nurses as clients. So I understand the unique challenges for when you're on your feet for 12 hours a day, right? So introduce yourself. What do you do? And why did you end up, what were your hesitations for joining for coaching, and why have you end up staying?
Okay, can you hear me? Hello.
Oh, I hear you. Yep.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Cassie. I'm in Las Vegas. I work as a registered nurse in the ICU at one of the hospitals here. And I work night shift. So that's 12-hour shifts, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Yeah, so I'm just always on my feet. And you think that walking around like 12 hours a day, 3 times a week, you'd be fit, but no, because I think that just made me want to eat more. So I've always struggled with my weight. I'm only 33, and like majority of my 20s, I think I was like my ideal weight was in my early 20s. And then after that, it's just been slowly gaining, slowly buying bigger clothes and constantly talking about, okay, I'll start exercising tomorrow, or oh, I'll start dieting tomorrow, or I would stick to it for like a week and then I would just stop and just, you know, eat what I want and not exercise. So my hesitation was like, I know that it's been hard for me to commit to anything long term.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, do I really want to do this program for it to not work kind of thing? That was my hesitation. But I think just having someone be accountable for me, as well as showing me like step by step, like I like the checklist. Like I like having a checklist of what it is I need to do, has really helped me like slowly make changes. That was another thing too, because I always thought like, okay, so starting tomorrow, I'm gonna exercise every day. I'm gonna eat like this every day, and like just pile on like this big changes that never stuck because I realized you have to just slowly incorporate it into your lifestyle. So that's why I think this has worked for me the most out of anything, because I've been able to stay consistent because I like slowly changed.
Yes. And I'm so glad that you mentioned that you've done other things before, but you tried to change everything at once, but that this was more step by step, and it vibed with how go with more tech issues. Okay, sorry. So the step-by-step way, you know, vibe with how it worked for you, right? It worked for you and it seemed less overwhelming. So did you think that, I'm just curious because this just popped in my head. Did you think that, because you said, do I want to commit to this and not get results? So was that one of your hesitations, that committing to this and then you would end up not changing at the end?
Yeah, because I was like, is this even gonna change anything in myself? I don't know. Like I wasn't really sure. But for me, I'm like, I can just sit here and say I'm gonna do everything tomorrow, and then tomorrow never comes. And then next thing I know, it's like 6 months into the year and I haven't done anything. So I'm glad I took the step.
Yeah, I'm glad you did too. Share then with everybody, what are some positive changes that you've seen, and you know, where are you at now? Like, because Cassie from 6 months ago was like, I am so tired. I can't even imagine myself exercising. If I'm not at work, I'm trying to sleep on the couch because you're trying to catch up on your sleep, and you had very low energy. How do you feel when I describe like how you were before to now, how you are now?
For me, I'm just like, I can't believe that's how I was before. Cause now it's like, I can't sit still. I always want to keep moving. I find like the more balanced meal is more enjoyable to me than just having like heavy carbs or heavy fat all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just feel a lot better.
Yeah, and then you created a lifestyle for your home. So you and your husband both meal prep,
Mm-hmm.
and then you exercise on a schedule. And like you said, now you can't even imagine being that person before where you're like, I just don't even have the energy to do any of this. So talk to me a little bit about the energy changes, because I think a lot of people can relate to how you feel. Is sometimes people have a hard time getting started because they don't even have the energy to start, whether it's their lifestyle or work or whatever. So talk to me about like when you started to see your energy level change, how fast or how quickly did that happen?
I think just doing the strength training 3 times a week was enough for me to feel like I had more energy, as well as just having a more balanced diet. Like I never really ate a lot of vegetables, but I think having a lot of vegetables and protein just helped me stay more energized throughout the day. Because if I eat a lot of carbs, then after like an hour or two, then I'm going to want more carbs, you know? So,
Yeah.
but I noticed that I don't even really want to like snack as much anymore because I'm eating protein and veggies more regularly. So, yeah.
Before you go, I have two more things I want you to share. One is one of the hesitations or one of the problems we kind of solved for you was nurses have a culture, especially nurses that at ER hospitals that are working together to bring each other food or bring in food and take care of each other. And so how did I help you navigate those challenges where in nurse life, food is a love language, and you were really nervous about how you could stick to your goals. So share with me a little bit about like what we did to kind of help you with that.
One of the things we did was I just made sure that I brought enough food with me from home that so I could tell myself, okay, I have my lunch. I don't need to order Uber Eats with everyone else because they'll want to be like, oh, we're ordering food. You want to order something? I'll be like, no, I have my lunch packed and stuff, and I have enough snacks. And like every day that I work, I brought like a protein shake that was blended with like veggies and protein and bananas and stuff, and that kept me full throughout most of my shift too. So I think just bringing stuff, basically preparing myself and telling myself I don't need to eat any extra stuff because I already have this stuff here.
Yeah.
And just reminding myself like, is this going to help me towards my goal? Or, okay, I can have it. It's fine, but it's going to make me head towards my goal a little bit slower.
Yeah. I love that you mentioned that it's not an all or nothing thinking, that if you decided, I am going to try that, or someone brought in something that is my favorite, it was not my day was ruined or I broke my diet. It was just like, it's okay if I have this. If I get to my goal a little slower, that's okay. The next meal is a reset or a restart. It wasn't that you failed, correct? Cool. Thank you so much. Celine, are you able to hop on? Oh, there you are.
I've been here. It's just that my daughter has a dog, and it's like now my dog because they left for Hawaii. So, and it's like a puppy. It's 8 weeks. So I didn't want you guys to like hear what we're doing. But anyway, I heard everyone, and everyone's doing amazing with you, Coach Rose, which is good. And that's uh, I'm one of them too. So I started with Coach Rose. My name is Celine. I started with Coach Rose 2021.
22, the top of 2022, I think.
Are you?
Oh, wait,
it
no,
was
you're
January.
right.
No,
It was
2021.
You're right. It was January 21. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So why did I go and choose you or go with you? I was desperate. To be honest, that time I was desperate. I knew that my weight, if I don't get help, will just keep on going up. Um, and I didn't want that to happen because I've been working on myself for a lot of years, and it's really a battle. I've been doing this for 26 years. I've lost so much weight, but still had issues and bad relationship with food. Working out is not my problem, never my problem. Actually, resting is my problem. um, it's the food, it's my relationship with food. And I think that's why we're all here, right? Because if we had a good relationship with food, we won't be where we are. So the beauty with having Coach Rose is she doesn't just tell you like this is what you have to eat and all that, because we know what to eat and what not to eat. I'm sure we've all read the books, we've all heard someone say something, podcast, all that. It's actually more of the mindset, the homeworks that she offers us, and the Tuesday group talk is one also that is very helpful, because it's like therapy. You get to share what is happening with you, and you get to hear what people are also going through, and you can relate. So it's either you inspire or you get inspired.
That's very true.
Yeah. So And it's like we're all learning. We're all learning here, even though we all know it kind of all. It's nice to hear it again, like, or there's one person who's struggling with something and she tells you, like, oh, this is what I did. And then maybe you'll incorporate that and then it helps you.
Mhm.
So that's why I'm still around.
Thank you so much, Celine, for sharing. Hopefully you're okay with, I know you usually are. So when you signed up, like you said, you've been working on yourself for a long time. And I think in the last, like you said, I don't know when you really got your biggest results, but you've lost over 100 pounds in your lifetime, correct?
150.
Yes. So you've tried a lot of different things, a lot of different programs. And when you signed up with me, you said, I do want this, but I don't want to suffer. And one of the things that you did is a lot of you and your family eat out a lot. And because you're an on the go person, you don't stay still. So I was like, you said, help me figure out how I can still lose this weight, but not give up the family meals with my family and things like that. So talk about what did we do to kind of help you solve that?
First, I journaled like how I really eat, like where we usually go, and um, what's like my daily routine. So then after like a week or two, you looked at it and then we just tweaked here and there. Like, okay, Celine, if you really can't live without your Quest bar, we got to put that in every day. Okay, if you can't live without your smoothie, okay, we got to put that in there, and your coffee. Okay, so now that we have that, then if you really want to lose weight, there's this leeway. So how are we going to navigate that? What do you want to eat? Because you want your smoothie, you want your Quest bar, you want your coffee with your protein drink. So if you want all that, then we'll have to put another meal somewhere that it's going to fit your lifestyle and not gain weight. So there was always a solution.
Mm-hmm.
And we tried that and it worked. And the thing is, I wasn't in a rush to lose weight. So I didn't also want to be restricted.
Mm-hmm.
So it worked out. Like slowly I was losing a pound, maybe a pound a month, a pound and a half a month, and that was fine because it added up to 10 pounds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. In that first year, I think it was closer to like 18 pounds, but there was a lot going on in your life. Just like everybody else, life is life and we get thrown curveballs. So there was travel in your life. You were also injured for a time, so you couldn't work out. And even when you were injured, you were still losing weight during that time too, because we had to tweak your nutrition strategy because you wanted to continue getting results, but we had to talk about how to get it in a way that wasn't going to aggravate your injury and that you could still maintain your lifestyle. So my last question for all of you, and we're going to start with Celine, is I do have a big announcement that I'm opening the doors for enrollment for Fit and Confident Academy. They open on Monday. So if anybody wants to book a call with me and want more info, they can just drop in the comments more info and we'll talk about to see if this program could possibly be a fit for you. What would you say to people who are thinking about joining this program? What would you say to them?
Well, for me, it worked for me. And for me, it's like a gym. You can't pay a membership and not show up. It's not going to work. You're not going to lose weight. So if you really want to change your lifestyle, I recommend you sign up, but you got to do the work. And it's not like it's so hard. It's simple, easy habits. And more of them are mindset habits. But it's like the checking in, it's the community that you have in as you sign up. And it worked for me, and I hope it works for you.
Thank you so much, Celine. And thank you for hanging out with us and sharing your story as well. Brianna, what's your one thing you would say to someone who's thinking about joining a program or this program?
Do it. I mean, if you don't like it and it's not for you, you'll find out sooner than later and you don't have to do it again. But, I think that we forget that we have to invest in ourselves. And there's a huge return for doing that in a group like this. So invest in yourself. You're worth it. You deserve it. And get help and support from a community like this.
Thank you so much, Brianna. Cassie, what would you say to someone thinking about joining a program? And I kind of want you to touch on how you said you kept waiting for tomorrow. So what would you say to someone who might be thinking about that, had the same mindset that they're just waiting for the right time? What would you say to someone who's thinking about joining this program?
I would say that there's never a right time. You should just do it.
Yeah.
If you're going to sit there waiting for, the magical moment where it's like, I'm going to change my life. It might not happen the way you want it to. You just got to just do it like slowly, step by step. And then eventually, you'll look back and be like, oh, wow, I went really far. And you don't even realize it because you just did it little by little.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say if you're thinking about doing something like this, then try it out, because if you have a goal, there's nothing wrong with asking for support or help, especially when you've tried doing it yourself. And if that doesn't work, then always doing it by yourself might not be the solution. So it doesn't hurt to ask for support or look for it,
I'm so glad you mentioned that. Thank you so much, Cassie. For those of you who are just watching and don't know this, but I have my own coach, and I've had the same coach since 2015. And I think if you ever want to accomplish something, it's worth getting coaching, and elite athletes get coaching. You're going to get so much farther when you have that support, accountability, and a trusted mentor to walk you through the steps, like you were saying, through the steps, than waiting on the sidelines, letting life go by because you're waiting for the right time to start. But meanwhile, like Cassie said, and Celine and Brianna, that if you just start now, step by step, man, in 3 months, 6 months, it's amazing what change you can happen in one step at a time. Thank you so much, Cassie. Sonia, what's your one thing you would say to someone who is maybe in the same situation as you, thinking, I've tried a lot of different things. How is this any different? What would you say to them if they're thinking about joining this program?
I would say that this is different, and it's unique in the way that you have the group sessions, but you have one-on-ones with you, and just the full support and the availability to be able to ask questions and get those answered quickly has been really helpful. I haven't seen anything like this. So yeah, you don't have to wait. There's no good time, but today is a good day.
Thank you so much, Sonia. Calissa, to wrap this up, what would you say to someone who had the same mindset of you, where maybe you didn't want to work out, or you didn't think working out was for you, or you thought this was going to take a lot of your time up? So what would you say to someone thinking about joining this program?
Do it. What are you waiting for? A lot of women take care of family members and they forget to take care of themselves. It's an opportunity to be there for yourself and for your loved ones. There's no reason to wait. Just do it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing. And that concludes, I should have known it was not going to be 30 minutes, because I love hearing your guys' stories and sharing. And thank you so much for being here, showing up for me so that I can get the word out to more people on how this program is different. So again, if you are interested in joining this program, it is meant for women over 30 who want to lose at least 20 pounds in the next 12 to 16 weeks. And then they want to learn how to do it sustainably and create a lifestyle that you can maintain. Then drop more info into the comment in the comments, and then I will chat with you to see if it's a good fit. Thank you so much, Calissa, Sonia, Cassie, Brianna, and Celine, for sharing some of your time with me today and with everyone else watching. And have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I'll see you guys in group later.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.